Happening now, a live look here at Congress. We just saw House Republicans walk the articles of impeachment facing Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas to the Senate. In a rare move, lawmakers issued 2 articles of impeachment in an effort to hold the cabinet member responsible for the influx of migrants at the southern border. House Republicans claiming that Mayorkas refused to enforce border laws and lied to Congress about the border being secure. Congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed joins us live now from Washington. So, Nate, we've been watching this play out in the Senate right now. What happens next?
Well, right now you're watching the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, lead impeachment manager, Representative Mark Green of Tennessee, present the charges that were passed by the House of Representatives, the 2 impeachment counts that were passed against Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas nearly 2 months ago. 2 senators, they're off the screen, on the edges of the screen. They're sitting in their seats listening to these charges. The trial does not begin in earnest till tomorrow, but what it comes down to is these 2 charges. Article 1, the willful and systemic refusal to comply with the law. They believe that Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas did not follow the law. He's refused to comply with the law. And then Article 2, the breach of public trust, saying that the Secretary of Homeland Security has lost the public's faith in his inability to contain the southern border with Mexico. Now, the way that this trial is going to play out is the subject of great debate. Democrats have said, led by Senate Majority Leader Schumer, that they want this trial to be swift. They don't believe that these charges should have come over. They don't believe that Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas should have been impeached in the first place. Republicans, on the other hand, by and large, believe that the Senate should hold this trial, that they should be able to present this evidence of how the Biden administration has mishandled the southern border and how the Homeland Security Secretary has engaged in a dereliction of duty. That duality of those 2 opinions was on full display earlier today when the Senate Majority Leader and Senate Minority Leader presented their morning statements to the Senate. Take a listen.
Impeachment should never be used to settle a policy disagreement. Talk about awful precedents. This would set an awful precedent for Congress. Every time there's a policy agreement in the House, they send it over here, tie the Senate in knots to do an impeachment trial. That's absurd. That's an abuse of the process. That is more chaos.
It would be beneath the Senate's dignity to shrug off our clear responsibility and fail to give the charges we'll hear today the thorough consideration they deserve.
McConnell, again, emblematic of the Republican opinion here, which is that this trial should play itself out, even if it takes a couple weeks. Now, you can see there in the center of your screen, the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee in the Senate, allowed onto the Senate floor and to address senators for the purpose of reading these articles of impeachment, all of the evidence that they have against the Homeland Security Secretary. This impeachment trial will begin at some point tomorrow. We're not exactly certain of time yet. It'll start with the president pro tem of the Senate, Senator Patty Murray, the Democrat of Washington, the longest-serving senator from the majority party, which in this case is the Democrats, swearing in senators. Then it's expected that the Senate Majority Leader could either move to dispense of the trial, basically cancel it entirely, table it, so put it off until into sometime in the future, even indefinitely, or move these charges to an investigative committee. Again, it's not exactly clear what the Senate Majority Leader will do, but Senate Republicans believe he's going to do everything in his power to try and short-circuit this trial, get around it as quickly as possible. We can actually see just in the last couple of seconds that the impeachment managers are now departing the Senate chamber. They've now presented their argument in a whole. They're now leaving the chamber. You can see Representative Mark Green being led out by the Senate Sergeant at Arms, followed by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene and the other Republican impeachment managers. You can see all senators in their seats in the center of your screen. The Majority Leader on the right, Chuck Schumer, and the Minority Leader on the left, Mitch McConnell. They're now leaving the Senate chamber, headed back across the Capitol to the House of Representatives. This is all happening as we speak. So even though they've presented these arguments, the trial does not begin till tomorrow. But once it does begin, it's not expected that the Homeland Security Secretary is going to be convicted. Quite the opposite. Remember, it takes 67 senators to convict. 51 of the senators right now are aligned with the Democratic Party, meaning that it's extremely unlikely that they would vote to convict him absent any evidence that has not yet presented thus far. It's expected that this trial could be short-circuited and could be over within the matter of a couple of hours.